Good morning, and thank you for joining me here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. It is a Monday, Super Bowl, the day after Super Bowl, I should say, Monday. So off to a great start to your week. If you're an Eagles fan, if you're a Chiefs fan, I am so sorry. It was not your weekend. This is Catch Up Quick, where we like to catch you up on the stories making headlines. And so if you see next to me, one of the top stories that we're following is a First Alert weather day, several of them actually up ahead for your work week. We're going to talk about that here in a couple minutes with First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi. But first, I want to take you through some of the stories making headlines. And let's start in Gwinnett County here, as we're following a pedestrian crash now under an investigation. And get this, authorities looking into this matter because that deadly accident involved a Gwinnett County police vehicle. Atlanta News First Don Shipman is with the First Alert breaking news tracker in the Norcross area, where he just spoke with police.
This crash happened right around 1 o'clock this morning, and from what we understand, authorities were on the scene for a number of hours overnight working to reconstruct the accident. And I want to show you, because this road right here, it is super busy. It's busy right now, but it's also busy even during the overnight hours. The crash happening right in front of that racetrack gas station. And a closer look right now at the scene, the gas station located at the corner of Beaver Ruin Road and Shackelford Road. Gwinnett County Police say that one of their officers on duty and on routine patrol had just gotten off of 85 when all of a sudden a pedestrian crossed in front of him. Police say that the pedestrian was not in a designated crosswalk. As soon as the crash happened, the police officer got out of his vehicle and tried to help the victim before paramedics arrived. And understandably, that police officer is quite rattled.
The officer is physically okay. We have a unit that comes out to basically be with the officers anytime that they're involved in an incident like this. And so he's back at the precinct with those individuals through our department.
The name of the victim is not being released right now. Georgia State Patrol is helping with this investigation. This road is back open after being closed for a good 4 hours overnight. We're here in Gwinnett. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
And this tragic story that we were reporting to you over the weekend, we continue to get new updates on the latest of the man accused of shooting and killing a Roswell police officer, expected to face a judge today. Atlanta News First Blake Devine is outside the Roswell Police Department, where the entire community is still shocked over what happened.
This loss has been felt by the entire community as people poured into this area all weekend long, dropping off flowers and other items on top of this memorial car. Meanwhile, flags fly at half-staff at the Roswell Police Department, all of it honoring Jeremy Labonte, a 24-year-old Roswell police officer who was shot and killed responding to a suspicious call in a shopping center on Friday night. The city has organized a meal train to help feed the families of the fallen officer, along with other officers that continue to serve while they grieve. We talked to one woman who says Officer Labonte visited her daughter's class at school just a few months ago.
He went to see the whole class, share a story, he read a book to them, and he also showed his car police from the inside. And he was making jokes to them. That day, my daughter, when she came home, she was like, "Mommy, I want to be a police officer when I grow up."
23-year-old Edward Espinoza was arrested shortly after the shooting. The murder suspect is expected to appear in court later this morning. Reporting in Roswell, Blake Devine, Atlanta News First.
We'll continue to bring you updates on that story and what comes of today. All right, this morning we have learned 2 more measles cases have been confirmed in Atlanta. We're told the 2 cases were reported back in January. The State Department of Health says both patients are family members. All 3 were not vaccinated. Last year, exactly 6 cases were reported in the state. And we got to talk about the story that truly captured the nation's attention. Let's talk about Super Bowl Sunday. The Philadelphia Eagles pulled away with a big Super Bowl win in the Big Easy, denying the Kansas City Chiefs a three-peat. Eagles star quarterback Jalen Hurts was the MVP, and there were many moments, if you watched, that were created quite the buzz on social media, and I'm sure in the homes of those of you watching. One of those moments happened during the halftime show. As you can see here, as we share pictures with you, there was a protest that happened in the middle of Kendrick Lamar's performance, and authorities now working to figure out how that protester managed to get on stage during the halftime show. This man managed to get on the field with a Palestinian and Sudanese flag, running around before being tackled by security. Now, the NFL says he had been a member of the field cast and they didn't know he had the flag on him. The protester has now been banned for life from all NFL stadiums and events. And there were many more moments that we've shared with you on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and in the free Atlanta News First app. All right, as I said at the start of this stream, it's Monday. And a lot of you have decided, after all of the Super Bowl fiasco, that today was just too much to walk into work, and you called out. A record 23 million Americans said that they were going to use a sick day or call out or miss work today related to the Super Bowl, and it's being labeled Super Bowl flu. So to help me talk about that, I want to bring in First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi. Courtney, you showed up to work today.
I did show up to work today. I will say my alarm clock goes off unreasonably early. It went off at 2:20 this morning, so I did stay up to watch the Super Bowl halftime because I am a big fan of Kendrick Lamar, but I'm feeling every bit of it today. I did not call out, though. Clearly I'm here. You know, sometimes you just got to tough it out. The sacrifice, you know, you have to make sometimes, and then showing up to work on Monday. But I know a lot of people they planned ahead. They already put in that day off after the Super Bowl. So props to them if they did. I mean, why not? Just extend the weekend. To some people, the Super Bowl is like a holiday. So, you know, I think it was not a bad idea, but if you did call out like me, you're probably feeling it a little extra today, a little extra sleepy, because that game went on pretty late, at least for me. My bedtime's at like 8 o'clock.
Hey, I'm glad you came in today because there are some major weather updates that you and the rest of the First Alert meteorology team are preparing Atlanta for. And I brought up this screen right here. We are starting with tomorrow, a First Alert weather day in the book.
Yeah, we have a handful of First Alert weather days, as you can see there. So starting tomorrow on Tuesday and then beyond, Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to enter into a very rainy pattern that is going to take over most of North Georgia and even just statewide. So a handful of alerts to let you know about, starting with tomorrow, and then that will carry into Wednesday and Thursday. And even going beyond that, we have another on Sunday. So the beautiful, warm, and mostly dry weather that we had last week is quickly becoming a thing of the past starting tomorrow and then beyond. We only have a handful of dry days. Today will be mostly dry. It looks like Friday for Valentine's Day will be mostly dry. So Tuesday, we're looking at heavy rain after 4 o'clock. Wednesday, we will have torrential downpours, on and off rain pretty much all day, with the heaviest rain looking to be in the evening on Wednesday, maybe even some rumbles of thunder. We will be watching for some flash flooding on Wednesday as well. Wednesday going into Thursday, as we continue to pick up more and more rain, the flash flooding threat will become an increasing concern Wednesday into Thursday. Thursday, it looks like heavy rain will be mainly in the morning, and then will dry out for the afternoon, and that'll lead to a dry Friday. So at least we'll have a dry day today and on Friday to bookend the week. But overall, a really wet and cooler pattern setting up this week. 70s also a thing of the past, unfortunately. Taking you through the day today, cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. We might see a few peaks of sunshine, but overall, it is going to be more clouds than sun through your Monday. We'll have temperatures in the 50s through the day today, and we'll briefly touch 60 degrees around 3 o'clock. You'll notice that rain chance coming in tonight around 9 o'clock through the overnight hours. Expect light showers to kind of roll in overnight. Essentially, what's going to happen is we have a front that's to our south, and that is leaving us cooler today. But that front's going to start to retrograde back north through the overnight hours, and that will kick up some light showers for us starting late tonight into your morning commute tomorrow. Here's a look at high temperatures area-wide today. Some spots won't make it out of the 50s if you're north of the city, because that cooler air really ushering in there. So a high of 54 in LJ, 60 in Atlanta, 59 in Carrollton, 64 in Thomaston. So a little warmer the further south you go this afternoon. Now tonight, we'll start to increase that coverage of rain, just light rain. Temperatures dropping into the 40s, so it'll be a chilly rain with that rain coverage at about 60% overnight into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, High temperatures will be even cooler. We're going to have a wedge try to build in. And the thing is when you get rain to fall while a wedge is building in, that helps reinforce that wedge. So you'll notice temperatures north and east of Atlanta, 75, kind of that dividing line across the state, you'll be a lot cooler with high temperatures only briefly touching 40 degrees in Helen. A lot of spots north and east of the city only in the low 40s. So much of your day will be spent in the 30s. 52 for a high in the city of Atlanta, and you will be warmer the further south you go of the city, south and west of the city. So places like LaGrange, you'll reach almost 60 degrees. We're talking a 20-degree temperature spread with high temperatures tomorrow. But the bigger story, of course, is the rain. A few showers will be possible Tuesday morning, but this is the main event. We're going to have that front move in Tuesday night. If you commute around 5 o'clock, anywhere north and west of Atlanta, it will be a rainy evening commute, and then that rain becomes widespread across Metro, mainly after 7 o'clock, and takes over through the evening. This isn't going to be a really quick-moving system. It's going to be fairly progressive, so that's going to allow that rain to fall longer, which ultimately leads to that flash flooding threat, especially heading into Wednesday and Thursday. But nonetheless, heavy rain rolls in mainly after 4 o'clock across North Georgia, with that prime time frame mainly being between about 7 and 10 for Metro Atlanta. Going into Wednesday, what's going to happen is this weather system isn't going to completely make its way through the state. So it's going to start to lift north Wednesday as a warm front. That's going to keep our forecast unsettled. So on and off rain will be likely on Wednesday. So for the morning commute, when you're picking up the kids from school, as you're commuting home from work, showers will be possible, including some heavier pockets of rain. You're really just going to need to take it easy on the roadways on Wednesday. Here comes the cold front, though. So warm front will lift north, cold front comes in right after, and this is when we're going to be watching for maybe some thunderstorms. So around 5 o'clock, you're noticing that bowing line, it kind of juts out. That's where you can get some damaging straight line winds. When you see that bowing motion in a future cast like this, that's when you start to kind of keep an extra eye on things, because that definitely indicates some pretty gusty wind. And with all the rain, any of those stronger wind gusts could take down things like trees. So that's something we'll be watching a Wednesday night. But regardless, look at the time frame here, 5 o'clock. That is the evening commute for a lot of you. So heavy rain and some gusty wind will be likely, again, mainly northwest of Atlanta. And that is the region that we're going to be watching very carefully for that flash flooding as we go through the next several days. 7 o'clock Wednesday, rain and storms taking over Metro Atlanta all along that I-85 corridor, and then starts to push south of the city pretty slowly going into the evening. And we have more rain on the way Thursday morning before we finally dry out into Friday. Regardless, this is the amount of rain we could pick up. This is just potential rainfall Tuesday to Thursday, but models have been pretty consistent on these rainfall totals for the last week or so. I-20 points south, 1 inch to maybe 2 inches of rain. But from Atlanta to the north, we are looking at over 3 inches of rain in our far northern communities from Floyd, Chattooga County into Cherokee County up into the mountains. We are looking at the potential of 3 to 5 plus inches of rain within just a couple of days. That's like double the amount we normally get in an entire month of February. So flash flooding will definitely be a concern. In fact, we already have a highlighted outlook, a highlighted risk for excessive rainfall for all of North Georgia, just about, or all of Metro Atlanta, I should say, for Wednesday into Thursday. Going into the weekend, again, I mentioned Friday will be dry for Valentine's Day, chilly but dry. Going into the weekend, we pick up that unsettled pattern. We're going to have a couple of weather systems this week, and then another one rolls in on the weekend. A few showers possible Saturday with highs in the 50s. And then Sunday, it looks like Sunday morning in particular, we'll have another cold front come through. Along that front, we will be watching for thunderstorms, maybe an isolated severe storm in far west Georgia. So we'll be watching that really carefully for you going into the upcoming weekend. There's still a lot of fine details that need to be tuned out here over the weekend, but just know we will continue our first alert weather day into Sunday with more of that widespread rain returning, and also maybe the potential for some isolated severe weather as well. It's too soon to talk exact timing, exact threats, all that stuff, but just know we'll be keeping a really close eye on Sunday. It does look like it could be overnight into early Sunday morning, but again, that still needs a little bit of work when it comes to the timing and exact threats. So just make sure you have the First Alert Weather app handy and that you are staying tuned here all week long to get the latest updates on your forecast, because it's clearly very busy. Our First Alert 7-day forecast shows you First Alert Weather days Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, widespread heavy rain. It looks like for tomorrow it'll mostly be the afternoon and evening. Wednesday kind of on and off all day with that line of showers, maybe a few storms Wednesday night that could impact some of your commute. And then Thursday, it's mostly in the morning, dry out through the day, waking up in the 30s for Valentine's Day on Friday. We're dry with a high near 60 on Friday. And then the weekend continues our unsettled pattern with rain and storms widespread again. Does look like on Sunday morning, which is another First Alert Weather day. A lot of rain on the way this week, guys, so take the dry days when you can. Today, although it'll be cool and fairly cloudy, today and Friday will be our 2 dry days of this upcoming week. Take advantage of them because we have a lot of rain on the way for your 7-day forecast. All right, thanks so much for spending some time with us here on Atlanta News First Plus for your news and your weather. Make sure to, again, stay tuned to that Atlanta News First Alert weather app. We'll be giving you updates all day long, all week long on this very busy forecast, and I hope you make it a great day.